All right. Hi, you guys. My name is Sherry, and I am the admin of Expats.living, and I have the beautiful Karina with us today. I am so excited. She's going to bless us with a lot of her experience as an expat, and I am so ready for this interview to see what I can learn. I adore.
Well, you're an expat too, so you probably know all this stuff already.
Yes, but who we're sharing it with, like, it's enough for me sharing, but what about you sharing? Like, it's just different perspectives, different experiences, different knowledge that we have. So yeah. Tell me a little bit about yourself, Karina.
All right, so guys, you already know this part, but my name is Karina. I am a 31-year-old New York native. I currently live in Playa del Carmen, Mexico. I've lived in 4 countries, including Mexico and the States. But I've also lived in Thailand, China. I recently wrote a children's book that actually is based on my real life experiences as a teacher living in China. And I love traveling. That's always so weird to say that because it's like, duh, everybody loves traveling. But no, I really am like addicted to travel. I also do a few other things. So I'm an international marketing director for a Chinese clothing company. I actually got the job while chilling at a dumpling spot in Shanghai. I'm a plus size model with that company. I am a YouTube content creator. Trying to see what else I do. A little bit of everything. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
I love it. You really are dabbling in a little bit of everything. That's amazing. So what was the country that you were living in before moving to Mexico?
I had been living in the States for a year, but prior to that, I was living in China. And then, so January of last year, I went home for what was supposed to be a month-long vacation for Chinese New Year, right? And got stuck. And it's so weird when I'm like, I got stuck in my home country. People are like, girl, you're home. But all of my stuff is still in China. Like my life, my cat, everything is still in China. So I was home for a year and then I was just like, you know what? If China is telling me I have to wait until August to get back to, to China, I don't want to be in the States anymore. So I moved to Mexico. Here I am.
Yeah. So how did you choose Playa del Carmen?
So I knew that I wanted to continue traveling, but I did not want to live in Cancun. I think Cancun is a cool like spring break spot or for people who are living on a resort or staying on a resort. So I didn't want to do that, but I still wanted to be close to an international airport. Knew I didn't want to do Tulum. I wanted to visit and hang out, but it was just becoming like the Brooklyn of Mexico, which is cool. But it was just like, I need some space. I need some peace. And so Playa del Carmen is right in between, like smack dang in the middle of Cancun and Tulum. So I was like, perfect. Let's go with that.
Perfect. And so how long have you been in Playa?
I've only been here since January. Yeah, the beginning of actually 2 days before the inauguration. I legit the week before was just like, oh yeah, it's time for me to go. I actually planned my whole escape from the States in like 1 week.
Okay. And give me more, like, emphasize on that escape from the States, because people really don't understand when we say this.
Right. They're like, you're so dramatic. You're so, I think so when it comes to America, right, or Americans, I think we've normalized the dangers within our own borders. We going to Walmart and, potentially being shot, going to a movie theater and potentially being shot, walking in your neighborhood and potentially being shot. This is stuff that should not be normal, right? And so when you're telling people like, I'm living in China, first thing they're saying is things like, oh, well, they're going to harvest your organs or you'll be eating cats and dogs. And it's like, or I could be walking down the street and be shot. Or you go to Mexico and people are like, the cartel, they're bad down there. You're going to be kidnapped. Or I could be walking down the street and be kidnapped down the street from my house. So it's just like, also, I think it's a difference between being Black in other countries and being Black in the States. And so that's another thing I think we've normalized. Like we march and, we stand for and try to advocate when it comes to like injustices we're dealing with in the States. But to be in a different country and just be treated like royalty. And some people are like, well, it's just because you're American. That's okay. I'll take that. I just happen to be Black then. I will take that. But I was just actually telling my sister this yesterday. She came to visit me last week. And I said, the sad part is there are so many Black Americans and their only experience being Black is in the United States. And so they really believe like, so depressing because it's like, this is the only experience a lot of people have. And then when you travel abroad, you're like, whoa, oh, you think I'm Beyonce's cousin? Okay, Beyonce here. That's me. So it was that. Yeah, it was the escape for me. Like just being able to live my life without the pressure of being, in the States.
Yeah, man, I love that. Oh my goodness. That was so good. That was a whole interview in itself.
I'm waiting.
That was so good. Okay, so so I'm guessing that kind of like ties in the reason why you moved abroad. Well, actually, no, why? I think it could be a little bit different because why did you move abroad?
So I think that's another thing. I graduated from college in 2013. My dad had been paying all of my bills, right? And he legit told me the day of my graduation, this is like Sally Mae. You have 6 months to find a job. I'm not paying car payments. I'm not paying insurance. And the first 2 months, I was like, I don't care. It got close to the 6 months. And then I was just like, no, he's serious. And so I immediately jumped into the workforce. I started working, got my first job out of college. And the crazy thing about working straight out of college and not having that opportunity to just kind of enjoy, like I think so many people are fortunate to have parents who allowed them to just go and venture out. I didn't have that luxury. So jumping into the workforce, you become just so stagnant. This is just day to day, 9 to 5. You're off Saturdays and Sundays. You're looking forward to the weekend. And I didn't know any better. I didn't know people were living abroad because everyone I knew, they were working a 9 to 5. And it was actually this young lady who worked at my job, my last United States job, my last job in the States. And she told me about an opportunity where I could work remotely from Thailand for a month and a half. And so I was just like, because the job I had been working for, they didn't even approve people working from home unless you were pregnant and you got a few months off of that. But other than that, they didn't even approve working from home. And so I created a 10-page proposal and I submitted it to them. And I said, well, this is where we are. Either, you can let me go and work remotely and I'll come back, or you can not approve it. I'll still go, but I won't come back to this job. And so they approved it. And while I was there, I actually met this young lady in Thailand, and she told me about working abroad. So when I came back 2 months later, I was moving to China. And it's just so crazy, the lifestyle. Now that I'm here in Mexico, it's not as glamorized as I thought it was, but I was in it in the moment. So, having a housekeeper or, not having to clean up after yourselves, really feeling wealthy, just brunching every day. I really like that. But yeah, that's really why I moved abroad, because I was just like, I want to try it. And then you get addicted to it. And I'm pretty sure you understand that you get addicted to this lifestyle. It's just like, oh, I don't want to go back to the States if I don't have to.
Yeah, facts. If I don't have to, that is where I am. I won't be going back unless I absolutely have to. That is exactly where I am. I totally agree.